All right, so this is the rubric for the first phase of the Cedars Green Thumb project. This first phase, we're going to be putting in flowers around the flagpole out front of the school. So let's jump on in and look at this rubric. This first phase, we're going to be looking at factors that different organisms will compete for, such as light, water, temperature, and soil, and also how different organisms depend on these factors for survival. All right, so let's take a look at this developing column. You're going to need to submit a proposal for the flower bed that's going around the flagpole, and this should be an annual flower bed as opposed to a perennial flower bed. That proposal should include a diagram of how the species that you choose are going to be laid out. You also need to have images of each of the species, along with a cost analysis of how much it's going to take to plant and maintain this garden. In addition, each proposal should include one paragraph of persuasive essay, utilizing that persuasive language to help sell your proposal. The developing is just the basics. The proficient is where we really get into the content. Your proposal will need to identify specific biotic and abiotic factors that each of your species will require, and you'll need to plan how to ensure that those species get the factors that they need to survive. You'll also need to include at least 2 different types of plant species, including the genus and species labeled along with their common name. Genus and species might be something you need to look up, so you may want to add that to your need-to-knows list. On top of that, your proposal should identify any competition that will be taking place within the flower bed among the species that will be present. Be sure to list the specific factors that they will be competing for. Finally, in the advanced column, in addition to everything you did in proficient, your proposal will need to explain which organisms' competition in the local ecosystem will be decreased by having access to this flower bed. In other words, by increasing the amount of plants around here, what organism competition will we decrease? Specifically, what factors will be decreased within that competition? Additionally, you're going to have to justify your species choice based on their needs of biotic and abiotic factors when you compare them to other organisms that might not be as sustainable. You really want to look at what we can provide for these plants in terms of light, food, soil, and water, and what's going to be the most sustainable in the long run and the best for our environment. All right, now let's take a look at written communication. For written communication, we're really looking at your use of persuasive language. Specifically in proficient, you need to utilize at least one persuasive element, being ethos, pathos, or logos. If you want to move into advanced, you're going to have to use 2 or more. We're also going to be looking at your style, language, and tone of the writing. Specifically, if you're trying to sell this pitch to people, you need to be persuasive and as well as academic. Make sure you're including all the relevant information, using strong scientific vocabulary, and maintaining a serious tone in your writing. Finally, we're looking at knowledge and thinking. In knowledge and thinking, we're really trying to assess how good of an environmental steward you're trying to be with your plant design. Your proposal needs to be reasonable in terms of the amount of available space, sunlight, soil, and environment. So that means we probably shouldn't be trying to plant gigantic trees in these small flower beds. Your proposal should also explain how it's important to the local ecosystem to provide these native plants, as well as how you're going to provide educational opportunities to other students. If you want to try for advanced, really focus on justifying the importance of sustainability and conservation of resources such as water when we're talking about gardens. Especially in this hot, dry Texas climate, this is going to be really important. Also for the advanced, you need to find specific TEKs or standards that align with different grade levels and can provide education for other students. So hopefully you are filling in the blanks on your rubric along the way. If not, feel free to watch this video as many times as you need. Once you've got a good grasp of what you're having to do in this project, make sure to generate at least 5 no's and at least 5 need-to-knows to bring into class tomorrow. We'll use these to guide our research, investigation, and workshops, so make sure you cover content and logistical. See you tomorrow.